Welcome back to another deck profile video here with Chris from CCJ's and Elites. Today we're going to be going over the starter deck Android 21 leader, the leader that I've played very little of, but I got some very interesting up and close inspiration and experience playing against it with somebody at our locals. I've never really seen the leader played before, I didn't really know how it worked, truthfully. And as I was watching him play it, I got some inspiration to try to build this leader myself, and kind of a deck that I feel would work really well with the cards that I have and just with the meta currently going on. I think this is a very interesting version of what blue aggro could feel like if it were to ever even come back. I don't know if it's ever been a thing or just kind of making its emergence into the aggro meta scene. But hopefully you guys enjoy this. Let me know what you guys think down below. Like and subscribe. Hit the bell for all the notifications. Make sure you guys just let us know how we're doing. So on the front side, this is a attack draw leader, which is very interesting considering on the awaken side this leader does not draw off of attacking, and you can actually awaken at 6 life if you have a blue and green multicolor card in your energy, which then she becomes a draw 1, untap 1. And on this side, this leader is very interesting considering you cannot play battle cards with an original enter cost of 6 or more, so you can't play any secret rares, and there's a lot of 6-drop blue cards that actually would work really well in this deck, but unfortunately you cannot play them, so 5 or less is the limit. Now this card has a very interesting auto. Once per turn, when a card is in your energy, it's placed in the drop area by one of your skills, draw one, and then choose one of your blue and green multicolor energies in the drop area, add it to your energy in rest mode. At the start of your opponent's main phase, choose up to one of your blue-green multicolor cards in your energy and switch it to active mode. Now, this card says when a card in your energy is placed in the drop area by one of your skills. This does not say on your turn. So this is something that I don't know if it's a kind of a loophole and around the way that this deck is going to be played now, but it does actually help us out a lot, and you guys will see why when we get here into the video. So we'll start off with we have a lot of 1-drop searchers in the deck because we want to find our pieces early, and we want to have some things we can use for 1 energy. So we have the Android 17 from the starter deck. Search top 5 for a blue or green android, add it to your hand, and then shuffle, and then add up to 1 card in your hand placed in the drop. So it says choose up to 1, so you don't have to add any, but you do want to put a multicolor card in your drop area for your awaken effect. That way you can pop a energy and put it back into your energy. So you'll have some cards in the deck that actually work really well for throwing them in there. 4 of the Android 18 searcher. Search top 5 for a blue or green android. Same thing. And then activate this card when you play this ability. At the end of your turn, you may choose a blue multicolor card in your energy, return to your hand. If you do, put 1 in your energy from your hand. So this allows you to take a card, put it in the drop. This allows you to take a card in your energy, put it in your hand, and add a card from your energy to your say that backwards. Add a card from your hand to your energy. So we run a total of 7 searchers. We have 3 of the Android 17 check lands. We run a lot of blue-green in this deck. I felt 3 was perfect, considering a new card that came out that actually is almost better than this card in a sense. But I think you should still run this as a 3 of. Still really good to have for consistency purposes, especially with blue-green. Being able to play this with its energy exhaust negated just allows you so much ability throughout the game. Also, if you do end up playing this card out, wink wink, the auto is pretty good, which we'll kind of talk about later. So one of the cards that came out of the structure deck is this here. Not the structure deck, I'm sorry, the anniversary box, is Restoration. So this is the new blue negate for Android 21. And what this card says, negate the attack. If your leader is a blue Android 21 card and you have a blue-green multicolor card in your energy, choose up to 1 Android 16 card with an energy cost of 2 or less in your hand and play it. So this allows you to play energy amplification for 1 energy. This is huge. This makes this deck ramp so much better. Now obviously you need to have the 2 cards in your hand, and you have to have a multicolor card in your in your energy, so you have some requirements to fulfill, but that is okay. This card, when you play it, if you have a blue-green multicolor card in your energy, which you will, you basically get the ramp. You get to play the top card of your deck in your energy, and that basically seals the deal. Basically, you just get to ramp. You play this on your opponent's, turn 2. You ramp up to basically 3 energy. Then on your turn 3, you charge 1. Now you have 4. Play another one, you'll have 5. You kind of see where I'm going here. So you can ramp up really, really quickly. The goal is to get to 7 energy as quick as possible. So this card kind of allows you to do that. The downside of this card, you can't play battle cards between 30 and 35k. That's okay. We don't do that at all in this deck. So not a big deal. So we run 4 of the Android 16s, and we run 3 of the restorations. Now, we do awaken at 6. Sometimes if our opponent is smart, they're not going to attack us. So we need to be able to help ourselves get there. So we have some self-awakening. We have the 1-drop Vegeta. Take a life. This card gets 10k in double strike. Your opponent's going to be kind of forced to deal with this card. And when they do, then you'll be able to kind of help yourself self-awaken. This is also just a nice little 1-drop later on in the game you can use to just apply some pressure. All right, so the big boy in this deck, the good old Zeno button. I mean, not really, but it's Zeno. So what Zeno does, he is your Unison of choice in this deck. So he's a 2-drop specific blue, activate main +2. You get to place the top card of your deck in your energy. You can't place cards in your energy for the turn. At the end of your turn, place the card you place in your energy with this card's skill in the owner's drop area. And then his activate 5 for 5 markers. Choose all cards in all battle areas, ignoring barrier. Shuffle them into their opponent's deck. Very, very strong board removal. Now, the interesting thing with this card, I know a lot of people are going to say this, these two kind of counteract each other. So when you place an energy, you then can't use this ability to then replace an energy. I get that. However, if we think really, really hard here, we actually can get this combination to work. So since this leader does not draw consistently on its awakened side, what's better than having a card that ramps every turn, and then at the end of the turn, that energy leaves. So then this auto will pop. Now, as I said, this card's ability, if you guys read it, when a card's placed in the drop area, you draw 1. First thing you do. So as soon as this card goes to the drop, you get to draw 1 at the end of your turn. Then choose up to 1 energy from your drop, add it to your energy. And then at the start of your opponent's main phase, choose up to 1 blue-green energy. So how card skills work in this game is you try to resolve as many parts of the ability as you possibly can. So, at the beginning, this card's ability at the end of my turn, I get to basically drop an energy that I ramped. So that will trigger this. This card says this card doesn't say when it's on your turn. It just says when one of your energy goes in the drop area. So it could be by anything, but it has to be by one of your skills. So then you draw 1. So you draw 1. You get to choose an energy. Since we can't do that part of the effect, we choose 0. And then at the start of our opponent's main phase, we get to restand an energy. So regardless, doesn't matter what this card does, we're going to be able to draw and restand 1 every single turn once we have once we have Zeno on the field. You can do that. So you just don't choose an energy from your drop area and put it in your energy, which is fine. It's not a big deal. There are parts of the game where it's like, okay, this kind of sucks a little bit, but that's when you use this ability first to, target that, and then you use this. So you can do that as well. So for most of the game, you're going to be using this ability first, and then use this to draw. Other parts of the game, you'll use this ability first, and then use this to ramp. You have multiple different ways of doing it. Just kind of depends on what the game state is going. 3 of the trunks. So this is a 5-drop. We can play it. For whatever reason, I thought it was a 7-drop. So I'm like, oh wow, that sucks. This card doesn't work with it, but it ends up being a 5-drop, so it does. We run 3. I would run 4. I just don't really want the space to kind of take up too many of these, so we have 3 of those. We have 4D magic since we're playing blue. Our super combo is going to be Android 21, Psych, Android 18. I wish there was Android 21 super combo. So we have this guy here, or girl. Combo, opponent bottom decks a card, So it has a little bit of hand instruction in there. Allows us to have an arrival target for the Goku Gohan, which is also a 5-drop. So we can play him. His effect's really good. Choose one of your opponent's battle cards, 5 or less. Place it in its owner's energy and rest mode. Then your opponent chooses one card in their hand and places it in the drop. So you can add a card that maybe they don't want in their energy, and then you make them drop a card. So there's no evolve targets, obviously, since you can't play anything more than 5. But he's still just a really good body to have on board. Gives you something to do with your arrival. And this card's super cheap now. It's like $1, which makes me really sad. I remember buying the Draftbox one for like 15. So, but that's how the game works. But this is a really, really strong card. It's like $1. Just pick them up for arrival targets, because arrival is still going to be really big, even though it's not right now. So do yourself a favor, pick these up. The Might of the Red Ribbon Army. We run 3 of these. This has 2 activate mains. I haven't played this card too much, so I don't know how the ruling works. I know with the first one, because it's active main, this is from your hand. You basically tap 1 blue, play this, and draw. The second ability, most cards when they have an ability from the drop area, you don't pay an energy cost unless it says it after the card. So this one makes me think you can just pay this for free. But you choose 1 green, blue multicolor card in your energy, add it to your hand. Remove this card from the drop area from the game, and then choose 1 card in your hand and place it in your energy. So this is cool. You get to do the whole dropping an energy thing. I don't believe it works with this, because it says when it's placed in the drop area. And since this card's technically not going to the drop area, you can't really do that. But this card does allow you to add cards from your energy that maybe you put in there via your leader ability and add it to your hand, so you can get those cards back. Some more Android targets. We run the Android 18 Never Ending Energy, a 3-drop, draw 2. Really, really strong. Has some really interesting effects later on in the game. We'll kind of go over once I get to that point. Playing blue, why not play a Boonie? Add some more aggro to the deck, being able to have 4 swings for 4 energy, and you get to reset another energy. And if you have Xenobutton on board, I keep saying Xenobutton, if you have the Unison on board, basically this becomes a untap 2. Basically a draw 1, untap 2 every turn that you have a Boonie on the field. Big threat. Big threat. Android 16, a new start. This was, I guess, the big tool of the deck, because you can pop 1 of your energy to play this card out, and then you can use that effect to play an energy from your drop area with your leader and draw a card and do all that kind of stuff. So you're basically playing this guy out for free. He has revive, so you can pitch blue-green cards from your hand to bring him back. If he does get killed, KO'd, whatever, you can bring him back. But just a 15k swing just allows you to pressure your opponent. We want to get them to 3 life as soon as possible. And I'll kind of show you why. So, some tech that I'm a big fan of is the Super 17 Seconds to Detonation. This is a 4-drop Android that has revive. When one of your opponent's battle cards is KO'd, you get to draw a card, and then your opponent chooses 1 card in their hand and places it in the drop. The 20k revive, I don't think you're gonna ever hardcast this card, but we may be able to play it from our energy. Wink, wink. Have some interesting capabilities there, which we'll kind of go over. Now we get to the end game part of the deck. So we have 3 of the Android 21, a Bad Omen. This is your win condition, basically. So this card, you place it in the energy. You can play from your energy for 4 energy. You play it from your energy for 2 blue and 2 green, which you can also pay this for 1 of those energy costs. And then you choose 1 of your energy, place it in the drop. And then you get to burn 1 of your opponent's life to the drop and 1 of your opponent's battle cards. That is really strong. Then it comes in board, and it's a 25k swing, so it's going to be able to do a 2nd damage possibly. Very, very strong end game card, especially when your opponent gets down to really low life. They're going to want to really try to finish the game quickly, and if they can't, you just pop them with 1 of these. And then the secret weapon of the deck, or the ultimate weapon if you want to call it that, is Super 17, Hell's Ultimate Weapon. So this card here is the linchpin of this new form of the deck. So the first thing is, if your leader is a blue Android 21, this card is negated his energy exhaust skill. So this card is a free charge turn 1. So you can charge this turn 1 with not having to tap it, which is super good for the deck. And that by itself is great, but the activate main is even better. So for 7 energy, 2 blue, 2 green, 3 colorless, play this card from your energy, then play up to 3 androids that cost of 5 or less from your energy. This is huge. This allows you to basically storm the board with a ton of androids by ripping your energy, but you can basically kill your opponent at 3 life. So when you play this, you can play 3 of these, and then you burn your opponent for 3 life. Unless they counterplay these before they hit the field, which they have to basically use hit, Deadly Vanguard, or the trunks. So you have this, you have 3 of these. You have this card, which I'm trying to find some interesting effects when you play these. So if you were to play this card first, and then you play one of these, this card will come into play. And I think how it works, that this card auto would kick in. It would pop one of your opponent's cards, and then this card would kick in, which then would make you draw a card and your opponent drops a card. I think it's how that works. Or the activate main of this card will resolve first, and then all of these effects will go through. I am not really completely sure how it works, so we'll have to find out on that. But that's one of the combos you can do. There's also playing these out. So you can play out 3 of these from your energy and draw 6, and then have 3 20k bodies on board. You can play out one of these if you really want to. You can play out a super combo if you have one in your energy. My ideal play would be to play out the Bad Omens, obviously, because this is going to burn your opponent for 3 damage. And that's what we want to do. We want to hit them as much as we possibly can, and then tap 7, play 3 of these, end the game. If you're not able to do that, let's say you can only play one of these. Maybe we'll play this, play one of these, and play this. So then we're burning a damage, hitting him for something. We're getting a body on board that we can use to negate a skill or a combo. When your opponent combos, choose one of the cards and place them in the bottom of their owner's deck, and then negate the skill for the game. So for once, you can actually just, when your opponent goes to combo, you just auto put it on the bottom of the deck, and then remove that combo piece, and then play this and draw 2. There's a lot of different combinations. There's some cards that I'm really looking into trying to add to this to make it very interesting. I'm gonna have to dig more into the green archetype to do that, but it's a really cool effect, and all is because of this card here. Ooh. This card here is just insane. It makes Android 21 just overall just a better leader, and hopefully some more people will join me in playing the new and improved Android archetype. So that is my Android 21 deck. Let me know what you guys think down below. Like and subscribe. Let me know what decks you guys would like to see us work on in the future, as well as decks you guys are excited about for set 11 that is going to be coming out here in about a month or so. Hey, maybe a little bit more than a month. But thank you guys for watching, and I'll see you guys in the next video.